I think it's essential that we do, as a health worker again, that we do have evidence-based, understandable and accessible health information out there for everyone that addresses their own health needs. So I'm supportive of information availability. But this bit here was particularly perplexing to me, and I think potentially misleading. This is comparing the increase in transgender and non-binary visibility to the incidence and visibility of people who are left-handed. It talks about how children in the early 20th century were discouraged from using their left hand due to religious beliefs. And of course, they were punished. And then once the beliefs changed and they could use their right hand, or their left hand without punishment, the number of left-handed adults grew. I think that obviously stopping children using their left hand is not okay, but what could happen to children now can't be compared to that. Potentially irreversible damage, to quote Abigail Shrier. As a health worker, again, it's really important that we have clear communication, which is a lot of the problem with this losing the sex language. Understanding what the information says is paramount. It has to be understandable, it has to be effective, otherwise your message is completely compromised. So what's happening to our language in healthcare is a concern. It is respectful to address people individually by whatever they wish to call themselves. But there are ways of doing this which do not erase women, and also make things understandable for people who've got English as a second language, and a whole range of issues that are embedded in there. So a group of very well-respected researchers based in various places, a few in Australia, some in England, published this article in early 2022. And some of you will be very familiar with this article because it was quite a seminal article in terms of what it was saying. It was about effective communication about pregnancy, birth, lactation, breastfeeding, newborn care, and the importance of sex language. So Gribble et al. Actually highlighted the risks of desexing language when you describe female reproduction. And they recognized the lack of consideration of the ethics of these changes. And I do recommend getting a copy of this article if you haven't read it. It's free to download. And there's also some really good supplementary information to download too, which shows you different organizations, their approaches or not approaches to actually addressing this issue. These language changes on this slide, of course, will not be new to most of you, of course. But I think when you look at that slide, you see all the words that are being replaced with person, people, families, mother and mothers replaced with parent, etc. Body parts, as we know, birthers, vagina owners, etc. And even non-males or non-men. I think it's also, as it says there, notable to see that when it comes to matters related to males, we don't really see this desexing language happening.